Hey y'all, welcome to Craftable Things. I'm Patrice and I'm finally getting a video done. It seemed like I could not get myself together to complete a video, but we have made it and I am here to show y'all how I made these super easy and quick magnets with my Cricut maker. All right, y'all. So the other night during a live, I made these super cute and easy magnets. Well, I didn't make these, but I made some magnets with my Cricut maker, and they're super easy to use. And I had quite a few people ask me to condense that live into a video, and so that's what we are doing today. I am going to walk you all through the process of making these super easy magnets. I'm going to show you guys, give you a few tips in design space of how to design and different things that you can do so that you too can create these fun magnets that you can place on refrigerators. And I am going to show you how I make these so that we can actually put these on cars with a little bit of UV laminate. All right, so let's get started. Okay, y'all, so outside of the Cricut products that we will be using today, we need to have some sticker paper, and I will be using this vinyl sticker paper. You can use printable vinyl or other sticker paper. It's your choice. This is glossy, but you can use whichever. If you like matte, it's completely up to you. This says that it is durable and water resistant. However, I have had experience with other water resistant papers, and they don't always prove to be that much water resistant. And if you are going to be using this outside, you do want to make sure that you are using water resistant paper. Also, you want to make sure you are protecting your paper as well. So we will be printing these stickers using our Epson EcoTank 15,000, which has pigment ink, and that is water resistant ink. All right, so this is what we are going to be using. This is 8.5 by 11 paper. The brand is Ava. In addition to the sticker paper, I have this vinyl, and this is UV laminate. All right, so it is clear. It is a clear film. This is Oracle UV laminate. I will have a list to everything that we're using today listed below in the description. However, this is good for protecting our magnets when they are outside. Now, if you're not going to be using your magnets outside, you may just want to use a regular laminate, or you may not want to use laminate at all. However, with this being outside and in direct contact with the sun, we want to make sure it is protected and that it lasts longer, okay? So this guarantees about 5 years of protection. And this paper, I think it's like 1.5 years of protection. So yeah, even on the back, it gives other tips to say to use with UV ink, allow the ink to dry 24 hours, and apply a clear UV resistant sealer spray. So there are definitely other things that you could do for this paper, but we are going to be using this UV laminate. I may also try to do a test. I have UV sealer, so I may try to do that as well. And we are going to be using these magnet sheets from Marietta Magnets. These are 8 by 10s. However, their newer magnets are 8.5 by 11. I do have some of those, but I want to go ahead and use these. And this is what the magnets look like. One side of the magnet is the side that is the actual magnet, the other side is not. So you want to make sure you test that out prior to placing your finished or your printed sticker on top so that you don't put it on the wrong side. All right, sometimes in reviews I see where people say that their magnet is not sticking. However, that is definitely because it is printed on the wrong side, all right, or it is attached to the wrong side. So let's head to our Cricut and get started with completing our magnets. All right, y'all, before we head into Cricut Design Space to create our other magnets, I am going to upload some magnets or stickers that I made inside of Procreate for my daughter and I just want to share these to myself, and I am going to be sharing these as PNG files, so that way I can cut these out on my Cricut. So now we're inside of Cricut Design Space and we are going to get ready to design our magnets. So first I want to create a template based off of the print then cut dimensions. And if you are new to Cricut and the print then cut method, you will need to create a template that is 6 3/4 by 9 1/4. So we are going to start by selecting shapes, and then I am going to select a square, and we are then going to resize this square. So to do that, you can either drag it by selecting the 2 arrows in the bottom right corner, or you can simply put in the dimensions in the top toolbar under size. All right, so the width, we are going to make the width 6 3/4, and I am going to make the height 6.75, and I'm going to make the height 9 1/4. Okay, and so we just need to make sure that all of our stickers can fit in this area. So I want to start by kind of making this a little bit smaller so that everything can fit on the screen, and all I did was reduce the screen size at the bottom. So next I'm going to select upload, and then we are going to upload the images that we created in Procreate. I'm going to select complex, and everything is exactly how I want it to be. And I'm going to click apply and continue, and this is going to be a print then cut. And then next we are going to select add to canvas. And here is our image, and I am just going to resize it again. I want to make sure that it fits within the print then cut parameters, and also you want to make sure it's sized correctly based on whatever you will be putting your magnet on. All right, so right now this is about 6 inches wide, so I'm pretty happy with that size for this. Okay, so I already uploaded a few images that I want to also make magnets out of. And so this is Taylor, my daughter's name, and I also made that one in Procreate, as you all saw. And then this one, this happens to be my favorite image at the moment. And I am going to turn this into a magnet. We are going to work a little bit with offset. So let's look into images and see if there are any other images that I'd like to use. And some of my favorite popped right up. Hot mess, if y'all know, I am pretty much of a hot mess, but I do want to make a hot mess sticker to go onto my metal pegboard. And so I want to use, I don't know if I just want to use hot mess or hot mess with the woman's silhouette or head on top. Let's see how it's gonna look. So I'm gonna select this one and add to canvas. All right, so I'm just gonna resize this, make that a little bit smaller. And I am also going to do, we will make a generic magnet where, let's use a heart. And so I am going to put this heart here. All right, y'all, so these are the images that we are going to be turning into magnets. You can turn any sticker file that you have into magnet, any PNG that you have into a magnet. It's 100% up to you. You can put in logos and different things like that and turn that into magnets. But this is what we are going to be doing today. And so first, I just want to go ahead and create an offset around crafting things. And to create an offset, you're going to go up to the top toolbar and select offset. And so as it generates the offset, we will see the size offset that will be around it, and that is too big. I don't really want it to be such a large offset. So we are going to go with 0.10 inches around, and that is not enough. So let's do 0.15. And that looks like that's going to be perfect. So I am going to select round. You can either have it rounded or with sharper edges. We are doing round because this font is a pretty round font. And so you just click apply, and that looks, actually y'all, I like it in black. I do. So I'm just going to go over to the right layers panel and select both of those, and I want to unclick the crafting things, and I just want to select the offset because I want to remove the white spacing from around the, like inside of the C and in these little holes here. All right, so this, I'm not really worried about the space in between the T and the H. I would have to increase that offset, but I have a way that I am going to fix that. So let me select the offset. All right, so I'm going to select the offset to contour this, but my contour isn't highlighted. So let's see what's going on. And I see right away that this is set to print then cut. And I want my offset to be set to just a basic cut. And that will give me the contour option. So I am going to select contour. And then I am going to select everything except the actual offset. All right, and so here we are, and that removed all of the holes from in the offset. So I'm just going to go back and select black because I do want this to be black, and I am then going to turn it back into a print then cut. All right, so this looks pretty good, but I don't like that little space in between the T and the H. So I am just going to make a small box to kind of go behind there in that space. Doesn't even have to be that big. Something about right there. Then I am going to send that to the back. After sending it to the back, I'm going to select the actual offset and that square that we selected. Do not select your image. I'm going to select both of those, and then I am going to weld those together. So your weld button is listed below all of the layers on the same row as the contour button. All right, and then I am going to select that offset again, make it black, and then send it to the back. And that looks great. And then now I'm just going to select all of that, and then I am going to flatten it, and now we have our print then cut file. I'm going to resize it a little bit. And that is one of our magnets. Okay, so next we are going to work on the Hot Mess Crafter, and the Hot Mess Crafter, I am going to make that a little bit smaller. And I think for the word Hot Mess Crafter, we are just going to make that into a print then cut. And then I want to see what colors we want to use. And so we are going to maybe see what it will look like with that being in a pattern. But that font really isn't that thick, right? So it may not look all that great, but that does look kind of crafty, right? Let's see if we do this one. So I can kind of fill that in with different patterns too. Okay, that looks cute, right? Look, y'all, that looks really cute. All right, and so then I want to head over and I want to select the headband, and I think I'm just gonna turn the headband into print and cut. This entire file is going to be print and cut when we're done, but this just allows me to kind of do it in pieces based off of the colors that I want. And so I am just going to find that color that we used again, and okay, that was just the outside. All right guys, so I went ahead and changed the headband to match the word crafter, and then I changed the word hot mess to make that like this pink pattern. And I did the same thing that I did for crafter for both the headband and the word hot mess. I went up to, well, I selected it on the right panel because everything is grouped, but if you ungroup it, you can have easier access to it if you want to have direct access to each individual element on the canvas. All right, but everything looks good. I think this is how I'm going to keep it. I was thinking of maybe changing the inside of the eyes or the shades. Let's see if that's something we want to do. Every time I look at it, I think of something different. So I went and changed that to print and cut, because even if I would create a separate box and do like a slice, I could do all of that, but this is just easier to go ahead and fill in those shades with something else. And so let's see if there is like a scene that we could maybe put inside. Oh look, that looks like those are some floaties with the pool. All right, so we're going to edit that pattern a little bit, and we're going to scale it to make it a little bit larger. And so I'm going to leave it there, and that's what we're going to have. Oh, definitely looks a hot mess, so this is just about right, okay? And so now we are going to select, go down a little bit, we're going to select the entire image, and I am going to, wait, do I want to flatten it yet? No, I'm going to select the entire image, and then I'm going to select offset, and then we are just going to see what our offset is going to look like. It's at 0.15, and that actually looks pretty good. Let's try 0.10 and see if that brings it in a little bit more. And it does. So this is what we're going to go with. We're going to go with 0.15 and or 0.10, and I am also going to do the same thing. I am going to contour the offset so that we don't have any of those openings inside. All right guys, so I went ahead and removed the holes that was in the offset, and I also changed the offset color to this yellow color. White was fine, but this really does look a hot mess, and so we are going to go with this. And so all I want to do now is select all of the image and then flatten it, and now it is a print and cut image. And also you can make these into stickers. It doesn't have to be magnets. So these could be stickers that you use, okay? And so I am going to see how this is going to fit onto our sheet. I could maybe turn this to the side and maybe bring it down here. Yep, that looks good. And then we're just gonna have to make sure our heart can fit also. All right, so for the heart, I really don't know what I want to do with the heart, so we are just going to leave the heart like this for now, and then I am going to import a picture and slice that picture into the heart, and that will be our mag. Okay, so I went ahead and uploaded a picture of my daughter from when she was 4 years old, and so I am going to bring the heart to the front so that I can kind of see exactly how that picture is going to be placed inside of there. And I'm just going to drag the picture, or the heart, whichever one I can grab a hold of, and make it as large as possible. And then I am going to kind of move it around so that it fits, right? And so now I'm going to select both, and then I am going to slice it. Now that I have sliced it, we're going to move that heart out of the way, and you can't see it, but you can faintly see the outline of the heart right there. And so I'm going to delete that and delete that, and then this could be our magnet. You could also put an offset around the heart if you want, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put that here, and this is measuring about a 4.5 by 4, and I'm going to make that just a little bit smaller and see if I can squeeze that in between the other images. Alright guys, so we are all done with setting these stickers up, and so I am just going to select each sticker because I want it to print out in this order, exactly like this in this layout. So I'm just going to select those, I'm going to group and attach them, and then I am going to delete the template that we used to make sure that we stayed within the 6 3/4 by 9.25 measurements. Now let's click make it. And as you see, everything is lined exactly the way that we want it to be. And I am going to select continue. All right, so now we're ready to print. And so I'm just going to select send to printer. And it's already selected the printer that we will be using. And I am just going to remove the add bleed option. We do not want add bleed. And today we are using the Epson EcoTank 15,000, and this printer has pigment ink inside of it. I do want to access the dialog box, and so I'm just going to select that and click print. Once you do that, if your screen is not maximized, your dialog box will appear in the front. However, if it is maximized the way mine is, it usually hides behind it. And there we have it. And so I just want to go ahead and kind of adjust the colors. And so we are going to select print settings. Your printer options may be different if you do not have this exact printer. If you have this printer or any printer, you want to make sure that you have all of your drivers downloaded so that you can manipulate how your ink is laid onto the different papers, okay? So we are going to select Premium Photo Paper Glossy because this is a glossy paper. And I want to select best quality for print quality. Then I am going to head over to, let me just make sure I let the printer know that it's going to be using the paper tray. Then we are going to head over to color options, and under color options, I'm going to select advanced settings, Adobe RGB for mode, and I'm going to leave this at a 2.2 gamma. And then we are ready to print this out. As that's printing, we are going to get ready to set our machine up, and today we are using the Cricut Maker 3. And after that, we need to select the material that we will be cutting, and we are going to be using these magnet sheets. So you want to use the tooling leather setting, the 4 to 5 ounce setting, okay? And so we will be using the knife blade. You can use your deep point blade to cut this magnet sheet, but we are using the knife blade. So I want to also select more pressure. It automatically set up this particular cut for the deep point blade, but we are going to edit the tool, and the other option it gives us is that knife blade. So we are going to select knife blade, and we are going to select apply. So before we can get started, we need to go ahead and remove the blade, and so we are just going to open up the B slot and remove the fine point blade that's there, and we are going to insert our knife blade. All right, so that is all set. So once we prep our sticker paper, then we are just going to put this in to be cut. So I have our print and it looks really, really good. These colors look amazing. And I am going to go ahead and begin to place the clear UV laminate sheet on top. And so I sized this sheet so that it could fit inside of our registration box because I don't really like covering the registration box. I have gotten it to cut, but sometimes it could cause a problem with the machine reading the registration marks, all right? So that is why I did it like this, and we are just going to apply laminate. All right, so I don't want any bubbles or anything underneath, so I'm just going to peel it back a little bit and have just a little bit exposed. And then we are going to place this right on top, right here. Should be good. And then I'm going to just give it a nice little press down with a squeegee to remove any air that may be able to get in. And then I'm going to just keep pulling it, the backing. And as I pull the backing, I'm just scraping it so that we can get that air out. And as you'll see, I am getting air underneath. But it is okay. You don't want to get air underneath. All right, so the only one that's actually going outside or going to go on my car is the Craftin' All the Things one. The others I'm going to put onto my refrigerator or onto my metal pegboard. So I didn't really have to put the clear laminate on top, but I did. And look what I did, y'all. Don't do that. You don't want to be me. All right, y'all. So we are going to get ready and cut this out. All right, so I already tested out this magnet to make sure that this side is the magnetic side. And this side, even though it has some magnetic pull, you want to check both sides because you will be able to tell. The side that does not have that much of a magnetic pull will kind of slip when it's on magnet and it's very loose. The side that is the magnetic side, it is very, very heavy. It is strong and you can see the difference. All right, so now we are just going to peel this off of the backing or peel the backing off. And hopefully I won't have an issue like I did with applying the laminate because my camera was kind of in the way. I could not see it. So let's hope we have a better situation. All right, and so I am going to just place this in the corner the way, and don't worry, the registration marks and the Cricut actually reads it fairly well. So you want it to line up good, but you don't have to give yourself any stress about it. All right, and so here we are, and yep. I should have kept that backing on there, but it's fine. Yep. And so I am going to do the same thing I did using the squeegee and just making sure that it goes down the way that we want it to. In true fashion, our Hot Mess Crafter one looks a hot mess. Everything else looks fairly decent. The most important ones for me look good, so happy about that. And I'm just making sure this is on there nicely. And then next we are going to apply this to a strong grip mat. So now we are all set. Our cutting mat is prepared and it is time for us to cut out our magnets. And so I am just going to make sure all of your rollers are pushed to the right. You don't want them to have to clear the actual magnet. And we are then going to press these arrows, make sure it's in there good. You don't have to push it, it will guide it, okay? So then we are just going to select our arrows, our load buttons, So the machine is scanning the registration marks so that we can get precise cuts, and after that it will tell you how many passes the blade will need to clear so that this material can be cut. And our light is blinking for us to start. And so it looks like it says that it needs to go through 6 passes before it is cut. So we will check out our magnets in a few minutes. All right, y'all, so we are going to peel this off, and it looks like it cut pretty good. I did not check it, but you always want to make sure you check your cuts to make sure that everything cut through. And we do have some lifting here. So let's see. But this is pretty typical with this material and what I usually get from it. So we are going to peel it off, and as you see, some of it cut all the way through, and then others it looks like it didn't cut through, but you can see the indentation of those other cuts. And so this is perfectly fine, because now I can really, with this material, I can just push the magnets out. So it's very easy to do it. It's almost like you just peel it from around. One, and let's see for this one, let's try to pull it through. We don't have much of the magnet left. I usually will try to save magnet, but this doesn't look like much can be saved. Maybe could do something here. We'll see. All right, y'all, so these are the magnets that we cut, and everything looks pretty good. My little hot mess crafter magnet looks a hot mess, but all is well. I love this one, but definitely need to calibrate that machine to make sure that that cut is exactly what I want. But it looks cute, and I can still use it. And for a tailor, get that part of that heart. But everything still looks pretty good. Okay, so now I'm just showing you all me putting these on my magnetic pegboard, and these are amazing. There's a very, very good hold. A friend of mine actually used one of these magnets on his car, and it has not come off. So they are good quality. Okay, y'all, so we are all done with making these magnets, and as y'all saw, it's pretty cut and dry, and I love how all of these magnets turned out. The only thing that I would suggest is making sure that you are paying attention when you are applying that UV laminate, and also calibrate your machine in case your print and cut is a little bit off. As we saw here with the crafting things, there should not be any white around the crafting things at the bottom, and there is. So that tells me that there is a calibration issue, but that little white is not going to stop me from putting this on my car. It is going on my car. So that's just a tip so that you know, but you want to make sure that you apply the laminate correctly so that you don't have any bubbling or any of that laminate not laying flat onto the surface. All right, so I hope you all enjoyed this. This is super easy and these are super fun to make. You can do your business logos on here. You can make calendars and use that. There's so many different things that you can use this for, not just for fun. You can use these as a business tool. So yeah. But if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you are not already a subscriber here, I would love to have you here. In addition, head over to Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok and join Craftable Things there as well. But that's it for today, y'all. Thank you all so much for watching, because we all love to craft all the things, right? So enjoy making these magnets if that's what you decide to do. And until next time.